The way you embrace the touch of the mat is create, ask, play.
Yeah.
Create your great idea, ask anybody for anything to get it, and do it in a state of play.
Yeah.
So the ask is really important because, as you say, a lot of people simply don't do it. So the first thing I ask people, like you, but you've thought of this now, and I ask everybody who's listening today, if you could call one person in the world who's alive right now and ask them a question, who would you call and what would you ask? See, most people say what you just said. They say, let me think. And the only reason they don't know is because you don't think you can. Well, why can't you? You can't. And so from what you're referring to is when we did Terminator 2, we wanted to do a music video, which Arnold wasn't contractually obligated to do. But in those days, a hit music video would play on MTV for 15 times a day, and it was great promotion. So I asked Arnold if he would do it. And rather than saying, well, I'm not obligated, he didn't say that at all. He said, of course, if you get the best band in the world, because everything had to be great with him. It was a great lesson. And I said, sure, who do you think the best band is? And he called his brother-in-law, who's in the music business, and he said, Guns N' Roses. And I said, no problem. I didn't know Guns N' Roses. So, but long story short, there were probably hundreds of asks for that one thing. We did do a Guns N' Roses music video for Terminator 2. They did have a song in the movie. It went platinum. The video won I think it was a fan music video of the year. A contest on MTV, just because we kept asking, no matter how crazy it got, we just kept asking more and more and more. An almost simpler story is, during the pandemic, we decided to do an animated movie called Bobbleheads. The characters whose heads bobble. And we wanted Cher to play Bobblehead Cher, Cher, the most iconic woman in the world. And everyone said, there's no way. She's never done an animated movie, you'll never get her. So we asked and got her, and she was great in the movie. And when it was done, People magazine said to Cher, you've never done an animated movie before. Why did you say yes to this one? And she said, I've never done an animated movie before because no one ever asked me before. I did. But the reason that's important is because if Cher, one of the most iconic women on earth, is sitting around and no one ever asked her to be in an animated movie, can you imagine who in your life you're thinking of calling, but you're not because you're saying, well, maybe, everyone must ask them. They're never going to do it. They get asked. Well, no one had ever asked Cher before, so you never know. So I really encourage people to ask anybody. And if it's a little daunting to call whoever is your Cher in your life, start smaller. Start with the guy, the local, place you eat, and ask him why they close so early. Call your brother-in-law you never really talked to. It doesn't matter. Get used to exercising that muscle. I started doing it in college. Get used to exercising that muscle if you can't ask anybody anything. And what's the worst that'll happen? They'll say no.